this might be the upgrade a lot of long-range pilots have been looking for. I've been sent by caddx the new Avatar GT2 VTX long-range system, which apparently fixes a lot of issues the previous GT had, while adding smart power, better cooling and easier usability. Is it worth upgrading? We're going to take a look at it. Stick around and let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and another video. If you're into long-range FPV planes or like to push your gear to the limit, then this is the right video for you. Today we're checking out the brand new Avatar GT2, the latest high-definition VTX from caddx, and the previous one was good, although I never had it in any of my planes. I was planning on getting it, but I was lucky enough to have caddx send me this one to test and to share with you guys. So first up, what's actually changed from the original GT? Well, the GT2 still delivers up to 2 watts of output power, but now it's way smarter about how it uses it. You're getting auto 2 watts power mode. It dynamically adjusts output based on distance and signal quality, or else you can still run the fixed 2 watt if you prefer the consistency of having just the one power set. But I'm pretty keen to try the auto 2 watt power mode, which will be coming up in the next video after this one. It's a huge improvement in my opinion, especially for long range builds where efficiency matters, and I'll be interested to test that out as well to see how it compares to the Moonlight in just general flying around my field as well. Also, one of the biggest improvements with this is its power consumption. They say it's reduced by over 30% to the GT1, and that's because of the auto 2 watt power mode, where it will only run a small amount of power when it's close by, and then it increases and puts out higher output as you get further away. Another big upgrade they did was with the previous firmware is intelligent frequency hopping. I tested that previously on my Phoenix and it seems to work quite well with the Moonlight camera. What that means is the VTX automatically selects the best channel while you fly, helping maintain a more stable and continuous video feed. We will be testing and comparing how this one goes to the Moonlight camera I've got in the Phoenix, and also the Avatar Pro V2, which is in my Dart XL. We'll compare the two. Now, this is the first time I've opened this. I only just received it yesterday, so it's still got its packaging on. It's the first time I'll be seeing it as well as you. Apparently, physically, it's similar in size. Dimensions on this are 34 by 36 by 23.5 millimeters. It fits in most builds, which is supported by the original GT, but apparently inside it's a pretty different story, so they say. In the box we get our instruction manual, pretty basic. Don't really bother reading that, but it's there if you need it. Nice little caddx sticker, qualified certificate telling you it's the original thing. Our little software bag with the wiring. We've got some screws and nuts in here. And here is the main attraction. So they say you get an improved built-in high-performance cooling fan on this one. Improved thermal design to reduce overheating also on the ground. It's a pretty solid chunky unit and not really probably suitable for FPV drones, that sort of thing. This is more designed for long range pilots and that sort of stuff. And they're also claiming too that it's got a better antenna connector. The MMCX antenna connector is more robust. Let's just have a quick look at that once we get it out, and it's a lot thicker. It's a lot bigger than the other one. So it is definitely, these are longer antennas as well. So that's good to see. I don't know whether they're any longer than the ones that were on the GT1 or not, but yeah, that's what you get here. With your Moonlight and a lot of the other cameras, you have to unscrew a little plate, and the MMCX plug just slots in, then you screw the plug back on. This one here has the 2 outlets on the back here, so just a matter of pushing it in like this, and she's in. So that's a fantastic little bit of a improvement, I think. One of the biggest complaints about the original GT was the SD card access. This one here, sitting here right on the edge, which is now fixed. The other one, I believe, you had a little tab, if I remember rightly. This one here is spring-loaded now, and it ejects the SD card, which is a heap better than what they had before. It also has a USB-C port that lets you plug directly into your computer to access the footage. And there it is, just on this side here. So that's good to see as well. So I guess, yeah, that saves pulling apart the build just to grab your DVR files, which is, to me, that's a massive upgrade. I do remember hearing about that complaint with the original one, and although it's something that I thought wasn't really very good either, it's something that I was prepared to buy regardless. Caddx also claims the latency now is as low as 22 milliseconds in ideal conditions, and around 30 to 40 milliseconds in typical environments, and over 40 milliseconds at extreme distances beyond 10 kilometers. So it's not really designed for racing, it's built for long-range cruising and exploration. So a camera like this, where would it actually be best for? Well, like I said, long-range FPV flying, it's definitely the pick for me out of anything if you're into long-range flying. Next to that, to me, would be the Moonlight, I guess, although that puts out a better picture, and it's designed for fixed-wing aircraft, not so much FPV drones. Exploration and mapping, great for that. Even inspection work, it's good for that too. So when you set up your GT, it comes with the latest firmware, which this video is made, is firmware 39.44.15. So you can't go any older than that. That's the oldest firmware you can put on it, or anything newer from there. And make sure you have the Avatar goggles X or L have to be updated on the same firmware to match. Otherwise, you're going to run into compatibility issues. Must say, it feels like a proper refinement of the original GT. Better efficiency, better cooling, smarter transmission, and finally the fixes that most of us wanted, especially this SD card issue that was a lot of people complained about when it first came out. But the real question is, how is it performing in the air? Well, we're going to be installing this into maybe Mazod Dart. I'm not too sure. We're going to install it into one of the planes coming up, and we'll push it to a bit of the distances that we see in some of the other builds and see what it can do, comparing it to the Moonlight and the Avatar HD Pro version 2. A bit limited where we can do this because of the laws, so it's a bit hard. I do have an area where we can go out to maybe 4 or 5 kilometers. But not much further than that, unfortunately. So stick around for that, and make sure that you're subscribed, and you'll enjoy the flight test, I'm sure, if you're into this video. So stay safe, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and stick around for the Avatar GT2 in the next build. See you soon, and bye for now.